Number 5, I'm going to go with The Undertaker returns to being The Undertaker at WrestleMania 20. Now, I like the American Badass gimmick. I'd like to see it return. But when The Undertaker was buried alive at the Survivor Series 2003, a very underrated show, in the 1690th PMDB video, I give my top 5s for No Way Out 2000 and WrestleMania 2000. Is it time to quit YouTube again? Yes, I think it's time to quit. No one's watching these videos. No Way Out 2000, Let the Game Begin, was the second pay-per-view under the No Way Out banner and the first one since 1998, even though 1998's version had the longer title of No Way Out of Texas. Both took place in February. And the selling point here was the main event, Hell in a Cell match. Career on the line, Cactus Jack challenging Triple H for the WWF Championship. And for me, this match was mostly all about, could Mick Foley top his stunts from the 1998 King of the Ring? Short answer, he couldn't. He almost did, but I think his stunt work at the 1998 King of the Ring was more authentic and felt less choreographed than the stunts he produced in this Hell in a Cell match. In saying that, though, I still think it was a solid main event matchup. So here's my top 5 of No Way Out 2000. In 5th place, Kurt Angle, whom got buried at the Royal Rumble. However, he won his first WWF title here, the Intercontinental Championship, in a fairly good opening match with Chris Jericho. In my 4th and 3rd spots are The Big Show and The Rock, the joint Royal Rumble winners, if you will. The real Royal Rumble winner, The Big Show, took on the cheat Royal Rumble winner, The Rock. The winner of this match would go on to the main event of WrestleMania 2000. It was an entertaining ordeal. The Rock was very over at this time and was at his peak. This was, the best year for Triple H and the best year for The Rock. My top 2 spots of this show was the participants in the main event. Triple H, number 2, and Cactus Jack, number 1, whom retired at this show. And then he would return as Mick Foley at WrestleMania 2000. I'm not sure who's retired from wrestling more, Mick Foley, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels. But I can't speak on retirement because how many times have I said I'm going to quit on here? So I can't really speak about things like that. Saying you're going to quit, then 3 days later, or in Mick Foley's case, a month later, returning just out of nowhere. As I say, it was a solid Hell in a Cell match, but I didn't think the stunts were as good as his Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker. The 2 stunts he did here, the one where he was hanging off from the side of the cell and fell into the announce table, wasn't that, I didn't think it was, that shocking compared to the one where he flew off in his previous cell match. And the one where he got backdropped through the roof of the cell, through the ring, it just looks so much more choreographed than the time he got chokeslammed through the Hell in a Cell roof, as that wasn't meant to happen, so to say. And that spot at the 998 King of the Ring looked more authentic and less staged than this spot. And saying that, was still 2 pretty good stunts, but not as good. As far as Mick Foley's stunts go, he peaked at the 1998 King of the Ring. I would if it were any other year, but I've got literally nothing else better to do in 2020 than create videos. I've already discussed every WrestleMania in my videos before, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about WrestleMania 2000, but here are my top 5. For me, it was all about the two matches that stood out the most were the triangle ladder match between the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian. 5th and 4th spots go to Bubba Ray Dudley and Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy performed the most memorable spot from that show, doing a swanton bomb off the ladder through Bubba Ray Dudley through a table. 3 of my top 3 were in the main event of this show, the fatal 4-way match for the WWF Championship that had a McMahon in every corner. That was the gimmick. This WrestleMania, for me, should have been much better. It had all the stars you could want with the exception of Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker. But apart from those two, it had pretty much everyone that was hot at the time in wrestling. The Rock didn't get hotter than him. Triple H, this was his best year, as I've said in my No Way Out thoughts. Still had Mick Foley, even before he would retire, so many times. And then you had the up and comers like, Kurt Angle. Benoit was here at this time. He just recently debuted with the Radicals. You had Chris Jericho on the rise, and so on and so forth. So it was a good time with great talent roster. Very, very strong. But for some reason, this WrestleMania was more. I don't know. I just kind of. It's not one I look forward to rewatching. It's more like hard work than enjoyment rewatching this WrestleMania 2000. And the main event does feel a bit bloated. It's overbooked. It would have probably been better just having either a triple threat match between Mick, Triple H, and The Rock, or a singles match between The Rock and Triple H would have made much more sense. And perhaps would have been better to have Stone Cold's return appearance here instead of Backlash. But, the main event consisted of the Big Show taking on Mick Foley, taking on The Rock against Triple H for the WWF Championship. It came down to The Rock and Triple H. And for the first time at WrestleMania, the bad guy, so to speak, walked out champion. Usually it's a happy ending, but not in this case. It was Triple H who got his hand raised at the end as Mr. McMahon turned on The Rock at WrestleMania. Top 3 spots go to 3 of the 4 participants. Sorry, Big Show. 3 of the 4 participants of the main event. 3rd place, Mick Foley. And 2 and 1, I've got to go with the final 2 participants, as they were in the match the longest, and for me, they were the most important players at WrestleMania. Triple H, 2nd place, The Rock 1st. When Austin wasn't there, The Rock was by far the biggest star here, and on his heels was Triple H. So there you go, my top 5 for WrestleMania 2000. It had great display of talent, but overall a disappointing WrestleMania.